We've got a news alert on Apple. Speaking of Apple, CEO Tim Cook responding in a fiery email to the Wall Street Journal report on Jony Ive's departure. Let's get to Josh Lipton in San Francisco with the latest. Josh.
Yeah, that's right, Melissa. So Apple CEO Tim Cook has written this email to NBC News in response to that journal article, and it is tough. So let me bring it to you. Cook saying this story, in his words, is absurd. A lot of the reporting and certainly the conclusions just don't match with reality. At a base level, it shows a lack of understanding about how the design team works and how Apple works. It distorts relationships, decisions, and events to the point that we just don't recognize the company it claims to describe. Goes on to say the design team is phenomenally talented, and the projects they're working on will blow you away. He's referring to this article, the Wall Street Journal, the departure of Jony Ive, its design chief, and it was a hard article, a tough article. It said that Jony Ive had become distant and frustrated with Apple, a company that was more focused on operations than product design. We should mention the Journal says it stands by its reporting, and very unusual for Cook to come out swinging like this on a report, but clearly felt strongly enough about it that he decided to send this email to NBC News, Melissa.
All right, Josh, thank you. Josh Lipton in San Francisco with the latest. Dan, you know what? This raises the concern or underscores the concern that has been going on for some time, that Apple is losing its sight on innovation, that it's sort of falling behind. It's not as innovative as it could be.
Yeah, listen, I think a lot of investors have gotten pretty comfortable with the fact that their products are going to be, evolutionary, whether it's the smartphone, whether it's an iPad, whether it's a Mac. Really what people want to see is that rabbit that they pull out of the hat every 10 years, some new product that's going to basically remake an entire industry. And we've seen them do that time and time again over the last 20 years. So I think that investors, if you're upset about a guy like Jony Ive not being there, it's because he's not going to be a part of that next thing. And he's been a very important part of the last few. I'll just make one point. That's fine that Tim Cook writes that letter. Until Jony Ive comes out and does it, right. I mean, who really cares?
So right. And if anything, look, Tim Cook has done a phenomenal job in transitioning from a leader that was impossible to follow. But Tim Cook's reputation and really what he's, I think, done a fantastic job at Apple for is not around design. It's around being a chief operating officer. It's about understanding the dynamics of how to run the company that's now a global company, the capital markets. So it almost seems as if this has been a personal thing for Tim Cook. And clearly writing that letter to show that Apple's design is a vertically integrated team and that ultimately it doesn't rest on one person. It's very important to know that Apple is the one creating the design.
But they haven't created any new designs in years, right? I mean, the iPhone was the last big product they had, then an iPad. I mean,
watch.
Right. They still don't have a touchscreen laptop. Like, that just blows my mind. Everyone else has touchscreen laptops, and that's probably so they don't cannibalize the iPad sales, but come on, get with it already. And plus, I mean, they're starting to shift over to a services-based company anyways, right? So that really should be the main focus.